Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Wreck 2. And this movie came out in 2009, and it's a sequel to a movie called Wreck, which I reviewed a few months ago. And Wreck 1, I thoroughly enjoyed. And to start off with this movie, it's a very direct sequel to the first movie, and it picks up right where it left off. Basically 15 minutes after the first movie left off. I'm not even kidding. When I was watching this movie on Amazon Prime, that's literally what it said. 15 minutes after the events of Wreck 1. And instead of just firefighters or news people or like people who are like part of a crew or people trapped in this situation, we have police officers, and they're going to go in and take care of the job. And like the first movie, it's also a found footage horror movie. And I think a good way to describe this movie is that in ways it is a bit like Aliens, in the sense that it's a bit more of an action movie than the first one. Mostly because you have people with guns coming in, and they're trying to fight off this threat. And even with guns, they don't really seem to have much of a chance against them. And they constantly just are scared the entire time, and nobody really knows what's going on. And as the movie progresses, information is slowly revealed to you. And it has some surprises in this movie that I did not see coming. And I thought the presentation of everything was great, and there were points where the camera was shaking a lot for sure, but it made sense within the story, because I felt as though the person who was shaking the camera was genuinely scared. As I'm pretty sure anyone would be. And like the first movie, the makeup on the creatures in this film are great, and there's lots of violence, and when someone is bleeding, you do feel as though damage has been done to a person, and it never feels cheesy in any way. And it's all very serious, and it knows exactly what it's trying to do, and it just achieves everything that it's trying to do. And it's very scary and offers a lot narratively. And this movie is only an hour and a half, and it flew by for me. And there isn't any filler in the movie at all, and it just keeps going and going. And any decisions that characters make for 99% of the movie, I can get behind. Even if it's not the smartest decision to do, you can at least understand why a character would do the thing that they did. And without spoiling anything, this movie introduces a whole new group of characters basically halfway through. And in any other movie, it would probably just seem like they're just wasting time. But in this movie, somehow, they never felt annoying to me. They felt like actual human beings that would exist in this world. And they serve a purpose. And for the most part, this movie has really great choices that it makes. And I think one of the most effective things about this movie is the sound. And I think that's integral to the film, and it does really add to the tension and the pacing. And with no music in the movie except for the credits, it does add to the film a lot. And one of my issues with the movie would be that the music in the end credits I wasn't really a fan of, unfortunately. I just felt as though it felt a bit out of place, and I would have preferred just ambient noises or something else. I just wasn't a fan of the music in the end credits. And also, this movie does answer some questions that the first film left unanswered, but it never feels as though it's just answering questions for the dumb audience who wants I want some questions answered now. Instead of just answering the questions that you might be having, it takes these things and actually does something with them, and adds in new elements to it, and makes it more interesting to watch. And it never devolves into something completely stupid, and I can always take the movie seriously and it just is continuously great throughout, and there isn't really much to complain about in this movie. And that's about all I have to say about Rec 2. I thought it was a great sequel, probably the best possible sequel that you could have made in terms of the story and presentation. There weren't any jump scares in the movie, or at least any that felt unearned. It's a great horror movie that has some really great scares in it, and it has a relatable situation, and the characters feel real, and the movie never wastes any time. And despite the fact that some of the characters have guns in the movie, it never once takes away from the tension in the movie. And somehow they managed to pull it off. And it's amazing that this movie isn't really bad or stupid like it easily could have been. Instead, it managed to be something really special. And definitely check this movie out once you get the chance. And also watch this movie along with Rec 1, because I don't know if this movie really stands on its own. Like, you kind of have to watch Rec 1 along with Rec 2. And you might want to watch both of these movies back to back. I think that's the best way to watch these movies. Watch Rec 1 and Rec 2 back to back. And I haven't seen 3 or 4 yet, so I don't know if that rule applies for those two, but I'll get into those movies when I get around to seeing them. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give Rec 2 an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Rec 2, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I have not seen this movie yet, believe it or not, so look forward to that. But until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.